Hi there, welcome to Lauren's by Pilates. I'm Lauren. Today's video covers the fundamentals of Pilates for dancers and athletes. The first thing that I would like you to do is separate your feet hip distance apart and then look down at your feet. Make sure that you see and feel your big toe, your little toe, and your heel pressing firmly into the ground, and that the inner arches of your feet are lifted up. This is called the tripod of the foot, and I'll refer to this often. Second thing I want you to do, bring your feet all the way together and rotate your hips open. So dancers, go to your typical first position. Athletes, just turn out your hips as much as possible. Now, I want you to look down and you see that you have a fairly wide turnout. From here, I want you to narrow that considerably. This is called the Pilates V position or the Pilates first position. We have a much smaller external rotation in Pilates than in a dance position. All right, let's come back to our parallel position. Next thing I want you to do is imagine the face of a clock. You're going to put your 12 o'clock right on your navel, and then I want you to correspond that navel center in front of your body to the corresponding spot in the spine. Second is the 6 o'clock position. That is the tip of your pubic bone. Same thing, you're going to feel the tip of your pelvic bone in the front, and now where it corresponds in your lower back, lower spine, and it's really close to that tailbone. Next, you're going to make a peace sign with your fingers. Close your peace sign. Bring your right hand to your right hip bone, left hand to your left hip bone, and walk in a little bit. The right side is your 3 o'clock. The left side is your 9 o'clock. I'll refer to the 12 o'clock, which means navel, 6 o'clock, which means pubic bone, 3 o'clock, which means the right hip bone, 9 o'clock, the left hip bone. All right, let's begin. I want to take a big breath in. Breathing is the first principle of Pilates. And exhale, just let those arms come down. Let's take that again. Inhale, reach those arms up. And exhale, lower those arms down. Breathing is our first principle. Our second principle is concentration. Then we go to centering, control, precision is the fifth, flow is the sixth, whole body movement is the seventh, balanced muscular development is the eighth, and the ninth and final principle of Pilates is relaxation. So I want you to constantly be thinking of all of those 9 principles as we move through this fundamental video. The last thing I want to say before we fully get going is in a really fully involved Pilates session, we're going to focus on 5 categories of movement. First is trunk integration. Second is lower limb training. Third is upper limb training. Fourth is whole body movement. And fifth is restoration and mobility. So that's what we'll cover in today's fundamental Pilates, is all 5 categories. All right, so here we go. We're going to inhale, reach those arms up, look up. From here, I want you to drop that chin into the chest, scoot that navel to spine. That's your 12 o'clock. You're going to lower all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Bend those knees slightly, straighten those legs, take a breath in here. As you exhale, roll all the way back up. We're going to do that again. Inhale, reach those arms up, look up. Exhale, drop that chin into the chest. Bring your navel into spine. Roll all the way down. If your hands can reach the floor, really flatten those hands. Inhale, bend those knees. Lift your head, lift your heart. Look forward. Exhale, straighten those legs. Round it all the way up. Good, next time we go down to the floor, we're gonna stay on the floor. As you exhale, that chin is into the chest, that navel, 12 o'clock is drawing in. Hands reach all the way down. Good, from here, I want you to come to your hands and your knees. Wrists are underneath your shoulders and knees are underneath your hips. We're gonna come into what we call a neutral spine. So I don't want you arching or rounding yet. I want you to find that very long spine. This is where our pelvic clock comes into play. 12 o'clock is drawing in. That 6 o'clock pelvis, pubic bone is lengthening. Right hip bone and left hip bone, 3 and 9, are very neutral and steady. From here, we're gonna round our spine. Take a big breath in. Exhale, round the spine. So you know this movement as a cat and cow. We're gonna continue. Inhale, you move through that neutral, and now you arch. I want you to feel the crown of your head lifting up, back of the head reaching for your tail. And as you exhale, we're gonna feel that pubic bone to nose connection. Inhale, pass through your neutral. Back of the head, reaching for the tailbone. Exhale, we're feeling that nose reach to the pubic bone. Good, just 2 more. So we're starting to work on our first category of movement, which is trunk integration. Good. And from here, I want you to find that neutral again. Good, walk your knees all the way together. Float your right leg up. This is called tail wag. You're gonna bring that right foot out to the side as you're looking out over that right shoulder. And then that right foot goes over to the left side as you look out over your left shoulder. Adding breath. Inhale, the foot flows to the right. Exhale, the foot flows to the left. Remember that you are looking at that foot every time it reaches its final destination. We're going to do 1 more on this side. Inhale, the foot to the right, looking over the right. Exhale, foot to the left, looking over the left, and return to that neutral. Float that right leg down. We're going to float the left foot up, same thing. Inhale, the foot goes to the left. Exhale, the foot goes to the right. What I love about the tail wag exercise is that it's starting to get into lateral movement of the spine. When we were doing our cat and cow, we were working on flexion and extension. Now we're working on some lateral flexion. We've got 1 more repetition to finish. So inhale, that foot moves to the left. And exhale, that foot moves to the right. Good, and release. Now I want you to separate your knees once again. And from here, I just want you to float the right hand off the mat and lower it down. Float your left hand off the mat and lower. So we're gonna do this simple movement just once more on the right and once more on the left. While the hand is lifting, the pelvis is staying very neutral. All right, now we're gonna add right hand and left knee. So right hand and left knee float and lower down, change. Left hand, right knee float and lower, change. So as we are adding the lower limb to this upper limb movement, we really need to find and feel that neutral pelvic clock. So we've got 12 o'clock pulling in, 6 o'clock lengthening, right hip, left hip, really finding that neutral. We're gonna do 1 more on each side. So right hand, left knee, lower it down. Left hand, right knee, and lower it down. Good. So now we're connecting upper and lower body movement. And we're gonna add a little bit more to this. So I want you to pick that right hand and left knee up, send the left leg back, the right arm forward. I want you to look. Then you're gonna return to that bent position and you're gonna lower down. Let's do that slowly on the other side. Left hand, right knee, left arm, right leg extend, head looks forward, left elbow, right knee bent, and lower down. Now with a little flow, we inhale, lift, extend, exhale, bend, and lower. Inhale, lift, and lengthen, exhale, bend, and lower. Inhale, lift, lengthen, exhale, and lower. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, last time each side, up and lengthen, bending and lower. Lift and lengthen and bend and lower. Good, from here, what I'd like you to do is sit on your glute muscles, bend those knees, look at your feet, make sure big toe, little toe, heel, firmly pressing down, inner arches lifted up. Good. From here, bring your arms forward. Hands are elongating, taking a big breath in. Feel your vertebrae grow tall. As you exhale, I just want you to lower down all the way to your mat, nice and controlled. Lower those arms down. Walk your feet back into your glute muscles. If you can tolerate a lot of knee flexion, I'd really like you to bring those heels as close into the glute muscles as possible. Good. From here, arms stay down. I want you to feel your chin slightly lifted. We're going to work on a little bit of head movement. So the first thing I want you to do is float your head up and then float it back down. Float the head up and float it back down. We're going to do that 4 more times. Then I'm going to add on. So as the head is floating up, I want you to pay attention to what is happening in your lower body. Big toe, little toe, heel should be firmly pressing down. Inner arches should be lifted up. Here's our last one. You float the head up and you float it down. I'm going to add on to this. So you're going to float the head, and now I want you to spin the head forward and now flex that chin into the chest. So you should be looking directly down at your pubic bone. And now from here, we're going to unflex the chin, unspin the head, and unfloat the head. So let's do that again. We go float the head, spin the head, flex the chin into the chest, look at that pubic bone, and then extend that chin, unspin, and unfloat. Good, with a little more rhythm. We go float, spin, flex, hold, return in those segments. Float, spin, flex, hold, chin extends, unspin, unfloat. Last one, we go lift, 2, 3, and hold, and back. Down we go. Excellent. If you're feeling a little bit of muscular strain or muscular work in the front of the neck, back of the neck, that's fine. Oftentimes, unless we're specifically training our neck muscles, sometimes those aren't as strong as we would like. Good. From here, brush the heels with your fingertips. Make sure that you can touch them, and that's only if you can do this knee flexion that we're in. We're going to do some bridge work. So on an inhale, I want you to spin your tailbone upward so that 12 o'clock is really pulling down, and then you're going to incrementally lift up to your bridge. So here we are in our bridge, holding the bridge. I want you to feel big toe, little toe, heel pressing into the mat, inner arches lifted up. Now from here, I want you to feel that 12 o'clock pull down, and then you're walking back down that spine incrementally until the pelvis is settled back down onto the floor. So let's do that again. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, that 12 o'clock navel pulls in, and then you're spinning the wheel of the pelvis up, vertebrae by vertebrae coming up off the floor. Hold at the top of your bridge, big toe, little toe, heel pressing in, inner arches lifted up, inner thighs engaged. Take another breath in, and now exhale, navel pulls in, and then you're walking vertebrae by vertebrae back down the spine. We're going to add some arm work here so that we can connect the upper to lower body. Good. Take a big breath in, exhale, that 12 o'clock pulls down, those arms float all the way up and over the head. Take a big inhale here, stretch through those fingers, and exhale, 12 o'clock is pulling you back down, and the arms and pelvis return simultaneously. Again, we go exhale up, 2, 3, 4, take an inhale, stretch, 3, 4, exhale, lower, 3, 4, inhale, hold, at the bottom, repeat, exhale, float, 3, 4, inhale, stretch, 3, 4, exhale, 12 o'clock, pulls everything down, inhale, hold at the bottom. We'll do it again. Exhale, pelvis, arms float up, inhale, stretch through those arms, exhale, reaching back, down, inhale, and hold at the bottom. Good, so that was getting a little bit into our upper and lower movement, integrating into our trunk. And now I want to work a little bit on just some lower body fundamental work. So from here, I want you to find your peace sign again, close your peace sign, right, fingers closed. Bring your right fingers to your right hip bone and your left fingers to your left hip bone. Good, from here, I want you to walk those fingers in maybe an inch or two. You're gonna take a big breath in. As you exhale, I want you to lightly press your right fingers down into that transversus abdominis muscle and let that right knee fold in, and then you place that foot toe ball heel down. Again, that right knee is folding into the chest. And the reason that right knee is folding into the chest, because that right side of our deep abdominal muscle is flexing, is pulling that knee in. Right knee folds in and lower down. So we're going to do this twice more on the right side. And I want you to focus on that big toe, little toe heel of your left foot. You should feel the left hamstring and the left glute muscle engaged. Now let's go to the left leg. So left peace sign, and you're going to bring that left peace sign into that cushy part of your lower abdominals. Take a big breath in as you exhale. Left knee folds in and you lower it down. It folds in and you lower. Again, while we're working on the knee folds on the left side, big toe, little toe heel of your right foot firmly pressing into the mat. And you want to feel that inner arch lift up. You want to feel your right hamstring, right glute muscle engage. Good. Last one on the left. And lower it down. Good. From here, bring your arms down by your side. I want you to bring your right knee all the way into your chest, then your left knee all the way into your chest, and hug your knees in. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. Excellent. All right, from here, arms go back down to the side. Lower that left foot down. Bring that right leg into tabletop. So tabletop position, we use it often in Pilates. Right knee directly over the right hip. That's your tabletop. Now from here, I just want you to lower right toes, right ball of the foot, right heel, float back up to table. We're going to do that again. Lower down toe, ball, heel, table. Lower toe, ball, heel, table, and toe, ball, heel, table. Lower toe, ball, heel, table. Next time you lower the right foot, it's going to stay down. Okay, now the left. I want you to float that left leg up to tabletop. Again, left knee over your hip. And we're going to lower the left foot. Toe, ball, heel. Back to table. Toe, ball, heel, table. Toe, ball, heel, table. And toe, ball, heel, table. This time keep your left leg in your table. Float the right leg up to your table. Good. From here, we're going to alternate just the toe touches. So the right toes go down and back up, left toes back up. We're going to do this a little bit faster. So we go right toes and up, left toes and up, right and left, right and left, right and left, right and left. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hold your table. Bring your legs all the way together. Now, from here, keep the legs in a closed tabletop position. You're going to float the head, spin the head, flex that chin into your chest. I want you to reach those arms forward, and we're going to do some 100 preparation. So from here, I want you to paddle those arms, really as though you were bouncing basketballs with each or with each hand rather. All right, now with the 100s, there's a specific breath that we do. It's called the sniffing breath. You're gonna sniff in for 5 counts through your nose, and then you are going to breathe out for 5 counts through your mouth. So it sounds like this. Last one. And bring those knees into your chest. All right, so with your sniffing breath, if it's the first time you've done it, it can be a little funky. But again, you want to remember you're inhaling through the nose, sniffing breath. And you're exhaling through the mouth with a percussive count. Remember, breathing is our first Pilates principle. The reason we're using this sniffing breath is we want to feel the navel go out and in, out and in, out and in. All right, so that's our sniffing breath. From here, I want you to lie back down onto your spine. Good, bring those legs all the way into your chest. From here, extend those legs straight up. We're in a parallel position, feet are connected. Good, from here, I want you to float the head, spin the head, flex that chin into the chest. Reach those arms forward, and we're gonna do a few 100s with the legs all the way up in this vertical position. So we go, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And lower that head down. Good, so that was the 100s exercise, vertical legs in a parallel position. Now I want you to rotate your hips to that narrow Pilates V position. So you should see that your feet are in that small turnout that we worked on in the very beginning of this. All right, from here, I want you to float the head, spin the head, flex that chin into the chest, reach those arms. Now I want you to lower your legs about 5 or so inches. From here, extend the energy out through the toes, out through the fingers. Feel those sits bones draw really close together. Spiral the inner thighs out, and we'll do a few 100s in this position. And inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Don't forget the sniffing breath. Last one, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, and 5. And draw those knees in. Lower those feet down. Good, moving on to a roll up. I want you to reach those arms overhead. Let's keep the knees bent, feet together, knees together. Inhale, you're gonna lift those arms, you're gonna float, spin, flex that chin into your chest. Reach your hands to your hamstrings. As you walk those feet up, I want you to roll your spine up. And you're gonna send those arms forward. And then you're gonna stack yourself up. Good. And we're gonna try that again. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit so you can see what my feet are doing. So we've just rolled up. And then from here, I want you to start to draw that navel in, that 12 o'clock. That pubic bone is gonna start to lift up, that's your 6 o'clock. As you're in this flexed spinal position, I just want you to walk your heels back towards you. You can bring your hands to your hamstrings, walk yourself back down, float those arms over your head. Inhale, float the arms, head, spin, flex, hands to your hamstrings. Walk your feet forward, round up, round up, round up. Send those arms forward. Now let's hold here for a moment. This is not a hamstring stretch. I want you to not have your torso touching your quadriceps. You're really gathering in through those abdominals. And then from here, you're gonna inhale, sit up very, very tall. And as you exhale, you're gonna scoop it round. That's our 12 o'clock. And then from here, you're slowly gonna bring those heels in. Hands can come to the hamstrings again. Feet are flat. and arms reach all the way overhead. Good, from here, roll up to a seated position. So in our Mat Flow 1, Mat Flow 2, and the entire Mat Flow series, I'll be doing more of those roll-ups and full extensively, but for now that was just a little bit of a taste for you. All right, I'm gonna turn us onto our stomach. So I'm gonna ask you to lie prone here. I want you to make a little pillow with your hands. Place one hand on top of the other. Let your forehead come down to your mat. Separate your feet so that they're a little bit wider than your hips, and we're gonna hold a parallel position. From here, I want you to pull that navel in, right? So we're really using that 12 o'clock. From here, I just want you to float the right leg off the floor and lower it down. Left leg off the floor and lower it down. Right leg off the floor and lower, and left leg off the floor and lower. Good. From here, I want you to bring your feet together, turn your hips out into that Pilates V position. Heels stay connected. We're just going to do that leg lift again. So the right leg lifts up and it lowers down. Left leg lifts up and lowers. So in this turned out position, you may feel that it is a little bit different than when the legs are in parallel. So whether the legs are in parallel or turn out, we're really working on some hip extension. We're working on activating our posterior chain, right? The entire back body. Last one on the right and last one on the left. Good. From here, maintain this Pilates V position. Send those arms straight out, forehead down on your mat. Now we're going to add upper body to this. So as the right leg lifts, I want you to lift that left arm in your head and then lower down. Right arm, left leg, and head lifts up and you lower it down. Right leg, left arm, and you lower. Right arm, left leg, head, and lower. One more time on each side. Inhale as you lengthen up. Exhale as you lengthen down. Inhale as you lengthen up, and exhale as you lengthen down. Good. From here, reach your arms all the way back. Have your right hand on your right thigh, left hand on your left thigh. And on an inhale, I want you to float that head, spin the head back, extend that chin, lengthen up through that torso, and lower back down. Good, these are called rockets. We're gonna do that again. Inhale, that head floats, it spins, the chin extends, lift up through that torso, and lower down. We're gonna do that twice more. So you're inhaling as you're lengthening up, and you're exhaling as you're lengthening down. Lots of energy, extending in the entire back body. You wanna reach through those toes and release. Good. From here, I just want you to come back into your hands and knees, onto your hands and knees rather. Good. And from here, all I want you to do is drop that sternum forward and then push the sternum away. So as you're dropping that sternum towards your mat, you should feel the shoulder blades come very close to one another. And as you're pushing the sternum away from the mat, you want to feel those shoulder blades retract. So shoulder blades are coming in towards one another, sternum drops. Shoulder blades press away from one another, sternum lifts. Good, just one more. So we're really trying to isolate mobility in the sternum area and the scapula area. Last one. And release. Good. From here, maintain this really strong arm position that you have. Curl those left toes out. Curl those right toes out. Lengthen. Find your full plank pose here. And all I want you to do is a little sternum drop. So the shoulder blades come close to one another. And then shoulder blades press away. Sternum presses away. Good. Sternum drop. And press away. One more. Sternum drop. And press away. Good. From here, you're going to come into a child's pose. So knees are together, Arms are stretched out in front of you. I want you to keep your arms nice and long here. Press your fingertips into your mat. Lift those wrists. Let your forehead drop as much as you can down into the mat. Good. Take a few breaths here. And now you're going to round and roll yourself up all the way. Good. From here, I want you to sit on your glutes and extend those legs straight. So we're going to head into a little bit of the mobility, the flexibility portion. I just want you to reach those arms all the way up. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, stretch as far forward as you can. So we are coming into a hamstring stretch here. So I want you to allow your torso to come as far down as possible. So with our hamstring stretch, we want to help the hamstrings release by contracting up the quads. So go ahead and find some engagement in those quad muscles. That will help your hamstrings elongate. Secondary aspect of this stretch is lengthening the spine. And we want to stretch our back body by gathering in our front body. So that means gathering your abdominals, really contract them in. And then from here, just release and round yourself up all the way. Good. From here, bend your knees. And you're going to bring your hands back behind you with your fingers pointing towards your feet. Roll your shoulder heads back. And inhale, I want you to come into a reverse bridge. So we want to stretch the front of our body here, lengthening our front torso. And now slowly you're going to release. Good. And from here, bend your right knee back, be on the top of your right foot. Hands are in that same position. And you're going to lengthen up. So you feel that the right glute muscle is contracting, right hamstring is contracting. You want to stretch that right quadricep, and that left foot is firmly planted on the floor. So that action, that tripod action, big toe, little toe, heel, helps you to lift that pelvis a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Then you start to get more of a stretch in that right quadricep and that right hip flexor. Good, and now you're just gonna lower down, and we're gonna send that right leg forward, knee is bent, bend that left knee. Now flip around so you can see it this way too. So left knee is bent, and from here you lengthen up. So you're pressing again, big toe, little toe, heel of that right foot. Left glute muscle, left hamstring engaged. Good. Firmly press down to lift that pelvis a little bit higher. Really enjoy the stretch on that left quad and that left hip flexor. And now release, release, release. Good. Bound ankle stretch. So bring the feet together. Hands are on your ankles. Roll those shoulder heads back. Inhale, lift head, lift heart. Exhale, come as far forward as you can with a long spine. When you can't go any further, bring your elbows out to the knees or the cushy part of your calf muscles and round forward, chin into chest. So now you're just breathing into the outer hips, into the inner groins. From here, stay in this position. Reach those arms forward, take another breath in. Exhale, round yourself up all the way. Thanks so much for coming to the fundamentals of Pilates for dancers and athletes. And remember, at Lauren's by Pilates, we align, strengthen, and thrive.